Good morning. So I'm going to go over elimination method just in case you need that extra help. So I'm going to go over two examples. So this is the first one. We have 2x plus 7y equals 13. And we have 2x plus 3y equals to 5. So the purpose of the elimination method is that you cancel one of the variables. So you can either cancel the x's or you can cancel the y's. It doesn't matter which one you cancel. But it's always easiest if you find one that is easier to cancel. For example, in this example that I gave you here, I can see that it's easier to cancel the x's. Why? Because the x's have the same coefficient in front, which means all I have to do is make one of them negative so that they can be opposites and cancel. However, I can also cancel the y's if I wanted to, but it's going to be a little bit more complicated because they're not the same coefficient. This one's at 7, this one's 3, which means there's a little bit more work so that I can make them into the same number and then cancel them. So that's why it's easiest to cancel the x's. I decided that I want to cancel the x's, so that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead and start writing. So again, also something that is important is that you have them aligned. That way I have the x's aligned and I have the y's aligned and then the equals aligned and then the number after aligned so that it's easiest to work on the problem. So I'm going to make one of the x's into a negative so that I can cancel the x's. Again, the 2x and the 2x. So it doesn't matter which one because they're the same number. So I want to make the bottom one negative. However, if I multiply by -1 so that it becomes a -2x, I have to multiply my whole equation by -1. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it over here. -1 times 2, that's -2x. And then I also, I also have to do it to the to the 3y, so that it's going to become -3y. And I also have to do it to the 5. Again, to make it one of the equations negative, I have to do it for all the numbers in the equation. And then the other one is going to stay the same. So 2x plus 7y equals 13. Okay. So now that I have the opposites that I wanted, I'm going to add my equations. So if I add my equations 2x plus -2x, we know that is going to cancel. So I'm going to end up with a 0, which I don't have to write. Now let's go ahead and add 7y and -3y. That's going to be -3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, positive 4y. And that equals to 13 plus -5. I believe it's 8, positive 8. So now we have a much simpler equation. We have 4y equals to 8. And I'm trying to solve for y because that's what I'm left with. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides so that I can leave the y by itself. And so y equals to 8 divided by 4, that's 2. Now we're not done. We're not done because we have the y value. We need the x value. So to find my x value, the next step is very simple. All I have to do is substitute this y equals to 2 either on the first equation or the second equation. It doesn't matter. So you might want to pick the one that is easiest. I don't know which one looks easiest. I'm just going to do it to the second one because I see smaller numbers. But again, it doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer if you do it on the first one. So 2x plus 3. And then notice that's where we have the y. So I'm going to put the 2 in parentheses so that we don't get confused. Equals to 5. Okay. So now let's go ahead and solve. This is going to stay the same, right? 2x. Now let's multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. So plus 6 is equal to 5. Now I'm going to subtract the 6. Again, I'm trying to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract the 6. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my work over here. I didn't want to put it that far up, but that's okay. Okay. And then, so now that we have that, we're going to have 2x is equal to 5 minus 6. That's a -1. And then divide by 2, because I'm trying to solve for x, like I said. So therefore, x equals to -1/2. And I would leave it as a fraction, but you can put it in a decimal if you want. Okay, so now we have our x and y. Final step is to put it as an ordered pair. So my solution, or the solution to this one, is going to be -1/2, comma 2. So that means that these lines intersect at -1/2, comma 2. Okay, so this is the point of intersection. And you can go ahead and graph it to check that the answer is correct. You can always graph. Okay, so now let's look at a different example. So this example is 2x minus 4y equals 14, and we have 4y minus 4 equals -3. So now the first thing I notice when I see this one is that the x's are not aligned, the y's are not aligned. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite so that it's aligned, because I want it to be aligned. So the first one, I'm going to leave it as is. So 2x minus 4y equals to 14. And then I'm going to go ahead and move that negative x to the bottom of the 2x, and then plus 4y equals -3. Okay, so notice how, and we're going to do the same thing. We just align them, and I want to add my equations. But notice how the easiest one to cancel would be the y's, right? Because I have a -4y, have a positive 4y. I don't have to do anything to any of the equations because I already have opposites, and all I would have to do is just cancel these. And then I can work on the rest of the equation. Because in this case, they were already opposite, the same coefficient. I'm just going to choose to cancel the y's, okay? So now let's go ahead and do the other part. So now we have 2x plus -y, that's going to be x, just x. Because 2x minus an x, we only have one left. And that equals to 14 plus -3, that's 11. Okay, so that is done. We're done with our first part. Now we want to substitute this 11 into either of the equations. And again, you can do it in either one. I'm going to do it on the second one just because I see smaller numbers there. But you should get the answer on both. So 4y minus x, which is 11, equals -3. Okay, so I want to solve for y. I'm going to add the 11. Add 11. I have that 4y equals to -3 plus 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 8. And then again, we're trying to solve for y, so I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. And let me go ahead and rewrite it, because okay, so I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. And so y equals to 8 divided by 4, that is 2. Now, final step is to put it as an ordered pair. So the point of intersection of these two lines is going to be 11, 2. Again, remember it's xy, so 11, 2. And this is my solution. It has one solution at 11, 2, which means they intersect here.